Pac was in Vegas, and him and his dudes now. They found out where Jay was at. Jay wasn't gonna come out the hotel. He was gonna miss that performance. And Suge talked to Pac, and he allowed Jay to do his concert.
Have you ever come across intense rivalries in the world of hip-hop? One of the most notable feuds was between Jay-Z and Tupac, and it was spilled by Spice One, a former collaborator of Tupac who has recently shared his perspective on the debate about Jay-Z being considered the greatest rapper of all time. He also shed light on Jay-Z's apprehensions when it came to his interactions with Tupac.
If Pac was alive, it would have been a whole different story. And as much money as Jay-Z has, he still hasn't accomplished what Tupac accomplished.
There have been speculations regarding Jay-Z's awareness of his friend Diddy's alleged involvement in a plan targeting Tupac. Some suggest that Jay-Z refrained from speaking out, potentially to eliminate his competitors in the hip-hop industry. That's probably why Diddy was quick to shut down any insinuation of that.
We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist.
Now, some fans have raised questions about the seemingly unusual number of individuals associated with Jay and Diddy, who have either disappeared or passed away, while these two remain closely connected. However, the true nature of Jay's relationship with Tupac has often been a subject of intrigue and speculation.
You gotta figure, we never met.
So you and Tupac never met? That was just...
So it's nothing personal. Him and Big went through their thing, and I was Big Man.
Billboard Magazine's recent declaration that Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time, surpassing legends like Tupac and Biggie, has sparked significant dissent among hip-hop enthusiasts. Some fellow rappers have joined the controversy, asserting that Billboard's list is biased. They argue that despite Jay-Z's undeniable talent, his music doesn't resonate with audiences in the same way as some of the other iconic figures in the genre. When Ice Cube was asked to comment on Billboard's choice, he said, "Yeah, it is. It's an irrelevant list. You know what I mean. It's like, everybody got one, and they call stink. There it is." The former NWA star expressed his indifference toward lists ranking the greatest rappers, emphasizing that he has his own criteria for evaluating talent. He remained unfazed by Billboard's opinion on the matter, stating that everyone is entitled to their own perspective. Cube made it clear that while he respects their view, he simply does not see eye to eye with Billboard's list.
Billboard ain't hip-hop, so their opinion don't matter.
Right.
So who gives a
I mean, I agree with that. Everyone from Mount Westmore made it except for Too Short.
Lil Wayne, who secured the 7th spot on Billboard's list, also weighed in on the controversy, boldly asserting that he deserves the coveted top spot as the greatest rapper of all time. During a recent interview with Zane Lowe on Apple Music, the young money mogul discussed his eagerly awaited album The Carter 6, while conversing about the project and his collaboration with the late DMX on the Swizz Beatz produced single Can't Nobody. Lil Wayne confidently stated that he doesn't pay much attention to rankings because he firmly believes that everyone knows he is the real GOAT. "Man, who the hell is before me?" Wayne questioned. "Was the list including all hip-hop, like before and after as well? I can deal with that. I will tell you that I am a mother effing one. Everybody whose names you named, they also know I'm number one. Go ask them. They know what it is." Although he was not happy with his place on the list, he was the only one who seemed to be happy with Jay-Z's number 1 place in the list. He said the greatest rapper of all time is Sean Jay-Z Carter, he declared on a November episode of Marcellus Wiley's More To It podcast. When you do this rapping thing, obviously like football, every sport is different. You play hockey, I'm sure that they got something they only know about. Something that they probably can't explain, but only they know. That thing in rap that we only know in rap, he has that. He's the Tom Brady of that. Many fans took to Twitter to voice their opinions, advocating for Tupac to hold the number 1 spot on the list. Some fans went even further, accusing Jay-Z of potentially influencing Billboard to secure the top position. One of them tweeted, "Billboard named Jay-Z as the best rapper of all time is a fraud that should be faulted. Tupac is the greatest rapper of all time. This is why you shouldn't believe all that is written in history books. Jay-Z doesn't even come close to 50 Cent in this rap business. This is sickness." Other fans voiced their skepticism, suggesting that Jay-Z might have paid Billboard to secure the number 1 spot deliberately, as a strategic move to ignite a viral debate. The controversy surrounding Billboard's list reignited rumors about Jay-Z's alleged benefit from Tupac's death. Many fans speculated that had Tupac and Biggie not passed away prematurely, Jay-Z might not have risen to prominence. To provide some context, historical rumors suggested that Jay-Z was apprehensive about Tupac potentially overshadowing him due to what was perceived as a charisma deficit on Jay's part.
Guys went through a lot of drama and success. You parallel your journey with theirs?
You know, like Big and Pop, they're like big open doors. They laid the blueprint for me, and they're not here anymore.
Indeed, despite Jay-Z's remarkable talent for wordplay and lyricism, Tupac possessed a unique and irreplaceable it factor that set him apart. Their differences in style and charisma were striking. Jay-Z found himself embroiled in a public feud with Tupac, which escalated after he aligned with Tupac's rival Biggie, who was closely associated with East Coast rap. This rivalry between East and West Coast rappers added another layer of complexity to their interactions.
Every show that I did, ever since they passed, you know, was a moment in the show. And everybody in the show put up lighters.
Put the peace sign up, please.
Jay-Z and Biggie, both hailing from Bed-Stuy, New York, established a friendship in the early 1990s. Their collaboration on Jay's breakthrough track, Brooklyn's Finest, in 1996 played a pivotal role in sparking a feud between Jay-Z and Tupac. Irv Gotti, who worked on Jay's debut album Reasonable Doubt, later revealed that he had attempted to caution Jay about involving Biggie in the track, as tensions were already running high amid the East Coast versus West Coast rap feud.
I'm gonna tell you, you gotta go back to Brooklyn's Finest. I was dead set against it. I was telling Jay, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And he was like, why?
According to Irv Gotti, the co-founder of Murder Inc., Tupac had concerns that Jay-Z's collaboration with Biggie on the 1996 track Brooklyn's Finest might draw Jay-Z into the ongoing feud between Tupac and Biggie. Irv Gotti shared this insight, explaining that Tupac's criticisms of Jay-Z stemmed from his apprehensions regarding their musical association on that particular track. He went on, "Jay's on the record with him, so now he's like, F you, ain't no one like me, F Jay-Z," and he starts bombing on Jay. Tupac and Biggie, who were initially on friendly terms, had a falling out around 1994. This falling out occurred after Tupac was robbed and shot 5 times at the Quad studio. Tupac believed that Biggie and Diddy had knowledge of the setup but failed to warn him, which led to his deep-seated resentment. Biggie, however, later denied any involvement in the incident. This event played a significant role in fueling the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry and added to the tension between the two artists.
I didn't want him to battle. I just wanted to do it without his assistance because we was friends with Big.
After the Quad Studios incident, the relationship between Tupac and Biggie deteriorated rapidly, leading to public exchanges of disses between them. Shortly before Jay-Z released Brooklyn's Finest, Biggie dropped Who Shot Ya? This further escalated the tensions between the East Coast and West Coast rap scenes, with many assuming that Who Shot Ya was directed at Tupac. Given the volatile atmosphere and heightened animosity, Irv Gotti's concern that Jay should have waited before releasing his track with Biggie was certainly understandable.
If they have twins, you probably have 2 Pops. And Jay's on the record with him. So now he's like, F you, ain't no like me, Jay-Z. Then he start bombing on Jay.
However, Jay-Z decided to proceed with the release of Brooklyn's Finest, despite the warnings from Irv Gotti. This move further exacerbated the already tense situation. In the song, Biggie directly called out Tupac in his verse, referring to him as his son, and alluding to the rumors surrounding Tupac's alleged involvement with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans. Biggie rapped, "Me and Gutter had 2 spots, the 2 for $5 hits, the blue tops, gotta go. Coolio means it's getting too hot. If Faith have twins, she'd probably have 2 Pacs. Get it? 2 Pacs?" This lyrical confrontation only added more fuel to the fire of their ongoing feud and contributed to the escalating hostility between the two coasts.
He was going right back at him. And then what Big did, which I was like, that's why Pac was on Jay, because of Brooklyn's Finest.
Following the release of Brooklyn's Finest and the escalation of hostilities, Tupac began to send not-so-subtle shots at Jay-Z in tracks like Bomb First, My Second Reply, and F Friends. Fans and onlookers were anticipating a potential Tupac diss track from Jay-Z, but it never materialized. Unfortunately, just weeks later, Tupac Shakur was tragically targeted in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, which ultimately led to his untimely and fatal demise. This tragic event marked a significant turning point in the ongoing feud between the East Coast and West Coast hip-hop scenes.
You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
dissed you a few times, right?
yeah. But, you know, the guy's not here. And you got to figure, we never met.
Surprisingly, it was revealed that Jay-Z had indeed written a scathing diss track directed at Tupac, but he was allegedly apprehensive about releasing it. After Tupac's tragic passing, Jay-Z performed the track known as Scathing live at the Apollo. DJ Clark Kent later disclosed that Scary was highly disrespectful to Tupac, and it seemed that Jay-Z had a substantial chip on his shoulder, which led him to showcase the track in a live performance after Tupac's death.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, like super tough.
Many believe Jay dissed Pac on Dead or Alive Parts 1 and 2, but Kent appears to be referring to a different track altogether, noting that it was never released. Although they didn't see eye to eye at the time, Hava's perspective changed after the California Love MC's death. Jay, who later sampled Tupac's Me and My Girlfriend for his Beyonce-assisted 03 Bonnie and Clyde single, would go on to say he held no ill will towards Shakur.
All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend.
It was nothing personal, he told MTV News in 2007. We never met. You know, he and Big went through their thing. I was Big's man. That was the extent of our big beef. Whatever we had died with him. Speaking of Jay-Z's planned response on the A Waste of Time podcast, DJ Clark Kent previously admitted, quote, "It never came out of respect for the fact that he died. Jay did a record going at Pac, but just as it was about to come out, Son died. We performed it though. We performed it once. You have to understand, the chip on Jay's shoulder is so crazy. It's just like he had to perform it." Jay-Z's decision to perform the diss track Scathing after Tupac's passing remains a subject of speculation. Some have suggested that Jay's performance was a way to assert himself and demonstrate that he was unafraid even after Tupac's death. The notion that Jay-Z may have been fearful of Tupac during their feud has indeed circulated, with claims that he believed he could never surpass Tupac. According to Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, there were instances where Jay-Z displayed apprehension, such as refusing to leave his hotel room in Las Vegas after a performance due to Tupac and his crew being in town.
Pac was in Vegas, and him and his dudes now. They found out where Jay was at. Jay wasn't gonna come out the hotel. He was gonna miss that performance.
Many fans have indeed accused Jay-Z of being sneaky because he didn't have the courage to directly engage in a diss battle with Tupac while he was alive. One of them commented, "Tupac's music and talent was on a whole different level. He touched you without touching you with his poetry and message. All these rappers mentioned are great and bring their own flavor, but Tupac was something else." Another one added, "Pac was the whole package. He was intelligent, street-loving, respectful, and loved his people more than he loved money, and that is why he's number one in my opinion. When Pac passed, you would have thought one of my family members died. I was done. Cried like a baby. I have never felt that connected to artists. R.I.P." One more fan penned his sentiments saying, "Tupac is and always will be the best, and it's so sad that others have to buy their way to the top and the industry will not give the proper recognition. I guess the people in the industry who have the real power have to make the changes so the charts actually reflect what the majority feels, not because the number one of that year made enough people rich or pushed through enough favors for the right people in the right places." It's true that during the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, there were instances where Jay-Z and his associates from the East Coast subtly targeted Tupac, possibly in an attempt to provoke a reaction. Some rappers who were active during that era have attested to the fact that Jay-Z harbored jealousy towards Tupac's charisma and swag. While Jay-Z was undoubtedly a skilled lyricist, there was a belief among some that he couldn't match Tupac's natural charm and magnetic presence, which might have fueled the animosity and indirect jabs from the East Coast during that tumultuous period in hip-hop history.
If you're in the rap game, this can happen, a battle. And it was like, this rap thing is real. Like, a battle could really happen.
Moreover, there have been some intriguing insights into the rivalry between Tupac and Jay-Z, revealing that it extended far beyond the realm of music. Jay-Z, it is suggested, held concerns that Tupac might capture the heart of Beyonce, a fear that fueled his resentment. But what led Jay-Z to assume this about Tupac? Tupac's immense star power made him a force to be reckoned with. Whether it was dominating the music charts or winning over the hearts of countless admirers, Tupac had a magnetic charisma that left everyone enamored, particularly the ladies. Other artists readily acknowledged that Tupac was a universal favorite, and when he set his sights on someone, nothing and no one could stand in his way. Rapper Gibb shared his perspective on why he believed that.
If Pac was here, who you think the girl would have been with?
Had Tupac been alive, he could have been romantically involved with Beyonce. It appears that the concern about Tupac's appeal extended beyond Jay-Z and resonated with many other rappers as well. Their competition with Tupac went beyond just music. It even encompassed their romantic pursuits. Despite their best efforts, they could never quite capture the public's affection in the same way that Tupac effortlessly did.